Multimedia producer Khumo Pulumo and social media influencer and digital content curator Mikey Mashila are here to unpack those stories for us. Hello and welcome.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm well, thank you. Khumo, so let's start with the big story, obviously, of today, and we just came out of the funeral service of Akhumzi Jazili. I'll start with you and, you know, the reaction, initial reaction when you found out the news. I think this is somebody that sometimes you just don't expect people will pass away. You know, it was so unexpected.
Yeah. I heard about the news in the morning. I think of I can't remember the day we heard about this because I was very busy that day and deeply hurt about the news because I had encountered sometimes and conversations with Akhumzi at his studio where you used to work. And you know, growing up, I used to watch TV. You know, Akhumzi was one of the people that you look up to, you know, every time on that show, you know, and you know, he was one of the young people who were doing it big in the TV industry, and so many people are deeply hurt about, you know, his death. It was so soon of him to leave us, you know. I don't know. I have so many words to express myself, but it's a touching story. But R.I.P. Akhumzi. He was one of the young people inspiring young South Africans, black South Africans, to do best in whatever they're doing in their lives, inspiring themselves so that, you know, they can also inspire other young people in South Africa. So it's okay.
And Khumo, that hashtag R.I.P. Akhumzi trending throughout the week on social media, an outpouring of love and support.
Yes, indefinitely. You know, growing up, we all had Akhumzi as one of our best friends. You know, we included him into our lifestyles, we included him into our homes, we included him into our everyday conversations because he was the new up-and-coming star. And, you know, to see him die at such a young age, at a tender age, 29, I mean, you haven't even touched 30. You know, it's quite a tragic story to tell. Your fellow friends that you grew up with, that you spoke a lot about, you know, his up-and-coming, you know, success as an award-winning director, producer, and content creator. He really did stand out for many of us in terms of his content creation.
And the kind of person that he was, a really warm and affectionate person, from someone who's really loved and revered to someone who's not so popular now on social media. Drum roll, Kanye West and his slavery comments. Mikey, I'm going to start with you. Was slavery a choice?
People, Kanye West, I don't know what's happening to that man. It was not a choice. For how many people that suffered in those circumstances of living in slavery, the situations there were not like it was a choice. Yeah, I'm going to be hanged. You know, in America, things like that were happening, you know, the Triple K. In South Africa, a lot of things were happening, you know. Apartheid, was it a choice? No. How many people were under those circumstances feeling the pain? You can't just, because I feel like I'm deeply hurt because Kanye is somebody that I look up to. He's an influencer, someone who speaks and people listen. But if you're going to use your power and your influence to mislead people with information, that's deeply, deeply, deeply wrong.
Some people, Khumo, coming up for him and saying that he's misunderstood. Perhaps he doesn't know how to articulate himself, which I find interesting because he knows how to write hit songs and bangers. But some people saying that he was trying to say that perhaps we need to stop using it as an excuse as to where we are in our lives. Do you think there's credence to that argument, given everything that has played out this week?
Kanye West is known for controversy. Kanye West is a bit crazy, but he's a crazy genius. You know, I think he was trying to defer to mental slavery. I think he was trying to say, guys, you need to break from your mental cages and see the bigger picture. There was a video that actually came out from TMZ that showed the other unedited package from the entire interview. And Kanye was busy explaining as to how love could actually resolve this entire situation, as opposed to people throwing hate towards Trump. What would happen if you throw love?
What would happen if you throw love? You have to be really big to throw love there. Let's look at another trending topic this week, a very disturbing issue, femicide again in the spotlight in South Africa. We heard of a story of Zoliswa Khumalo, who was shot by her boyfriend. A really tragic story, and he went on when he was leaving court, I beg your pardon, to pull gang signs. What's been the reaction on social media for it to put it together for us, Mikey?
So the story broke out on social media first before everybody knew about it. So this guy went on to post on social media, on his Facebook, to say, hey, you know, I'm deeply hurt for doing this, but I've got no regrets for killing my girlfriend, you know. And, you know, to have guts to kill and also go on social media to tell people about it, I think that person is a very, you know, dangerous person in the community. And things like this need to be corrected in our society. We can't have women being killed every time, seeing stories on social media, who, RIP. You know, I'm so deeply hurt by men here in South Africa. I don't want to swear, because it's a very important issue that needs to be addressed. Men, stop abusing women. Stop abuse. Like I saw screenshots about this story that happened with these guys who are driving people around to get to their next places, that they're also abusing women. And there's a lot of stories that are not being corrected because people are not taking, I don't know, they're not taking it seriously just because it's any other women. I think 4 out of 10 women every day are killed in South Africa.
Is it fair, Khumo, he mentioned a point that after he did this heinous crime, he went on to post on social media to say that social media is partly to blame for people who get brave in terms of doing the wrong things and posting them out there so that they can get fame?
Yeah. You know, I think it also goes to the toxic masculinity. You know, a lot of men are fragile and do not sort of engage with the emotional baggage that they carry. So they put it out onto women, and it turns out into this femicide that we are currently seeing online. And thank God for the internet, because the internet brought forward a voice for women that really don't have a voice, for people in the rural areas that don't have smartphones. You know, so I think in terms of social media presence and the voice that is being created utilizing the internet, I'm impressed with that manner, but I think we need to also, as he said, men need to start taking responsibility for themselves. Yeah. Whether you're coming from a home that's traditionally inclined, you need to take responsibility 100%. For yourself.
Finally, on I don't know whether to say a light note or a heavy note, I don't know, Shamba the Lion Batong, the reactions on social media, it was just entertaining to watch at the very least. What did you make of it, Mikey?
So a lion is being killed for being a lion. So that's the tricky part of it, you know. And I was like, okay, you know, this lion was doing what a lion is supposed to do: kill and eat meat. You know, so it's a very tricky one when a human being is involved. A human being who, you know, raised and took care of it all its life, you know, being attacked by it, you know. But the reaction online was tremendous. You know, I was seeing memes, you know, about this thing. I also got involved in that, you know, posting memes about, you know, Shamba has multiplied and, you know, he didn't die, you know, he's everywhere, you're going to remember Shamba, you know. So it was like, you know, a very cool conversation to have online with people.
Right. Khumo, does it not fascinate you, our ability as South Africans to take a situation and turn it around and find some humor in it?
I mean, I think South Africans are really witty, they're smart, you know, they're humorous, they take the dark and bring the light out of it. I mean, there's one guy who posted a 50 Rand note and said, the 50 Rand note will never be the same for me. I cannot take out a 50 Rand note the same, you know. I think it's the manner in which we approach certain ideas and concepts, such as Shamba's death, is really fascinating, that we're really that witty and we underestimate it sometimes.
Such interesting times and very immediate. Everything is just so immediate. Thank you very much for coming through this morning to us, analyzing social media trends. That's where we'll leave it.